Cotopaxi is an active stratovolcano in the Andes Mountains, located in the Latacunga canton of Cotopaxi province, about 50 kilometers, 31 miles, south of Quito, and 33 kilometers, 21 miles, northeast of the city of Latacunga, Ecuador, in South America. It is the second highest summit in Ecuador, reaching a height of 5,897 meters, 19,347 feet. It is one of the world's highest volcanoes. Since 1738, Cotopaxi has erupted more than 50 times, resulting in the creation of numerous valleys formed by lahars, mudflows, around the volcano. The Geophysics Institute of Quito's National Polytechnic School placed Cotopaxi under active watch on June 25, 2015 after observing activity. Cotopaxi's most recent eruption started on August 15, 2015. Description: Cotopaxi, on a clear day, Cotopaxi is clearly visible on the skyline from Quito and is part of the chain of volcanoes around the Pacific Plate known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. It has an almost symmetrical cone that rises from a highland plain of about 3,800 meters, 12,500 feet, with a width at its base of about 23 kilometers, 14 miles. It has one of the few equatorial glaciers in the world, which starts at the height of 5,000 meters, 16,400 feet. At its summit, Cotopaxi has an 800 x 550 meters wide crater which is 250 meters deep. The crater consists of two concentric crater rims, the outer one being partly free of snow and irregular in shape. The crater interior is covered with ice cornices and rather flat. The highest point is on the outer rim of the crater on the north side. History name: many sources claim that Cotopaxi means neck of the moon in an indigenous language, but this is unproven. The mountain was honored as a sacred mountain by local Andean people, even prior to the Inca invasion in the 15th century. It was worshipped as rain sender, that served as the guarantor of the land's fertility, and at the same time its summit was revered as a place where gods lived. Historic eruptions: with 87 known eruptions, Cotopaxi is one of Ecuador's most active volcanoes. The first recorded eruption of Cotopaxi was in 1534. Cotopaxi's most violent eruptions in historical times occurred in the years 1742, 1744, 1768, and 1877. The 1744 and 1768 events destroyed the colonial town of Latacunga. In the June 26, 1877 eruption, pyroclastic flows descended all sides of the mountain, melting the entire ice cap, with lahars traveling more than 100 kilometers into the Pacific Ocean and western Amazon basin, draining the valley. The city of Latacunga was again leveled completely due to the mudslide deposits. There was a major eruption from 1903 through 1904. And minor activity persisted until at least 1940 and possibly 1942. Note that direct observations of minor eruptions can be difficult because of bad weather, hence the uncertainty about the 1942 eruption. The same source also reported increased thermal, seismic, non-eruptive activity in 1975 and 2002. In the increased activity of 2002, fumaric activity and sulfuric emissions increased and ice around the inside and on the southeastern side of the cone started to melt. However, no actual eruption was observed. In 2015, a steam eruption marked a new phase of volcanic activity. The volcano remains in a very abnormal situation. In August, 2,100 earthquakes were recorded and emission rates of sulfur dioxide reach approximately 20,000 tons per day. The government estimates some 300,000 people are at risk from the volcano in the provinces of Cotopaxi, Tungurahua, Napo and Pichincha, where already 225,000 received information. At the moment, there are present as side lahars with a lower volume and reduced scope. Climbing. The first European who tried to climb the mountain was Alexander von Humboldt in 1802, however, he only reached a height of about 4,500 meters. In 1858 Moritz Wagner investigated the mountain, but he could not reach the summit either. On November 28, 1872, German geologist Wilhelm Reis and his Colombian partner Angel Escobar finally reached the summit of Cotopaxi. In 1873 it was again summited by Moritz Alphonse Stubel, then in 1880 by Edward Wimper. Painters Rudolf Riesrieder, and Hans Meyer reached the summit in 1903 and many of Riesrieder's paintings feature a view of Cotopaxi. In the late 20th century, summiting Cotopaxi became a major tourist draw. The Jose F. Ribas Refuge, Refugio Jose Felix Ribas, was built in 1971 at an elevation of 4,800 meters and enlarged in 2005. A tragedy occurred here on Easter Sunday 1996 when an avalanche partially buried the refuge and dozens of tourists. The glacier above the refuge was probably weakened by an earthquake that had shaken the entire province of Cotopaxi for several days prior to the avalanche. In the warm midday sun a huge portion of the ice wall broke loose. Being Easter there were many day visitors on the mountain who were buried in the ice and snow. Those trapped in the refuge broke windows on the downhill side to climb to safety, but 13 people died on the slope above. The refuge itself is located in a valley and consequently vulnerable to future avalanches. Today.